What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to another video. Today we're checking out Life Beyond Chapter 1, Alien Life, Deep Time, and our place in cosmic history. This is from melodysheep. Now, this was a request. I believe on my other video I done from melodysheep, which was time-lapse of the future. And if you haven't seen that video, be sure to check it out. It was probably one of my best videos in my opinion. Has quite a lot of views for my channel at least. So yeah, man, I'm excited to do this video, man. I do have a very strong interest in astrophysics and stuff like that, so this will be very interesting. This video is quite long though. It is half an hour, although if you have watched a lot of my other content, half an hour is basically nothing, because we've watched all kinds of hour-plus long videos. But ladies and gentlemen, be sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel. Also, you can leave a like, which is alright, sure, leave a like. And yeah, if you're interested, you could join my Discord. But if there's one thing you should do, it is subscribe to the channel for more content. Suggest any videos you want down below. And yeah, let's get into this video from melodysheep. Probably gonna have to do a lot of talking, so I've got a drink, you know? Protocol Labs, alrighty. Two possibilities exist. Either we are alone in the universe, or we are not. Both are equally terrifying. Yeah, you mean if you hear this statement all the time, if you're alone in the universe, that's kind of scary. Like, I mean, if anyone's ever experienced any loneliness, bro, I guess yeah, that is terrifying. Like, you just imagine the size of the universe, and we're the only life form in it. That's scary. But again, other things being there, I mean, we've obviously made a lot of movies demonizing alien life when they come and destroy the planet, but for sure, I mean, you don't know, man. It would be terrifying, of course. Yeah, if there is alien life making contact. Arthur C. Clarke. All right.
In all of time, on all the planets of all the galaxies in space, what civilizations have risen, looked into the night, seen what we see, asked the questions that we asked.
Just before we continue, I gotta say, great job already from melodysheep, bro. That animation was cool. The music, everything. Is Earth the only chapter in the story of life? The answers lie somewhere in distant space. I missed that totally, bro. Hold on, let me do the slight rewind there. And distant time, alright. For the first time, the truth is finally within our reach. The search will reveal who we are and who we might become. Okay. Life Beyond. Chapter 1, The Dawn. In the search for life out there, we must first look inward. Okay. I was going to say, what are your theories, ladies and gentlemen, on aliens? I mean, obviously there's a lot of theories that are popular. There's also a few methods you can use to detect them. One of those being the whole radio wave thing. I mean, if you detect radio waves, I mean, I believe radio waves are man-made, so if anything, you detect radio waves, either from you or from another race. Also, there's a few methods, but what are your theories? I mean, judging from this, I mean, if you've seen my reaction to that video, The Egg, or whatever it is, where, you know, it's the whole build up and you're a god. I mean, there's obviously some also theories that aliens came to our planet and gave us all of this, so maybe this is what he's going to reference here. When I said gave us, I mean like prodded us along, you know what I mean? Like guided us a little bit.
What we see around us is staggering complexity. How is it possible?
What does it take to create life?
Living organisms are created by chemistry. We are huge packages of chemicals. Now, what are the ideal conditions for chemistry? Well, first, you need energy.
Sunlight, geothermal heat.
But not too much. What you want is just the right amount, and planets, it turns out, are just right because they're close to stars, but not too close. You also need a great diversity of chemical elements.
You need heavy elements, oxygen, carbon, sulfur. We are carbon-based life, obviously.
And you need liquids, such as water. Why? Well, in gases, atoms move past each other so fast that they can't hitch up. In solids, atoms stuck together. They can't move. In liquids, they can cruise and cuddle and link up to form molecules.
Yes.
Liquid water is just so good for getting evolution going. Molecules can dissolve in the water, form more complex chains.
Now, where do you find such Goldilocks conditions? Well, planets are great. And our early Earth was almost perfect.
Earth 4 billion years ago.
It was just the right distance from its star to contain huge oceans of liquid water. And deep beneath those oceans, at cracks in the Earth's crust, fantastic chemistry began to happen. Atoms combined in all sorts of exotic combinations.
The exact recipe is still a mystery, but the ingredients for life are simple: energy, organic molecules, and liquid water. I've actually read a book pertaining to how DNA and genes were originated. I was gonna say DNA or genes, I guess. Like obviously it starts off as a single molecule and it creates more complex things. And obviously it started off very simple molecules, and then they created, proteins and amino acids, then proteins and stuff like that, right? Somewhere in the seeds of early Earth, basic chemistry became biology, perhaps even more than once. The first cells were likely born in hot volcanic waters in conditions once thought impossible for biology. The closer we study life, the more extreme places we find it thriving.
Here on our planet, microbes have adapted to survive the most hostile conditions. Arid deserts, the frozen...
Just a quick note, what's that animal, tiny animal, like water bears or whatever, that could survive basically any environment, even space? They can survive vacuum of space? Is it like water bears or whatever they're called?
Himalayas, in trenches under thousands of tons of pressure in the ocean deeps. In the vacuum of a space simulator, life forms have been flourishing for years without oxygen.
New research suggests that life emerged over 4 billion years ago when Earth was an alien and something. Bro, I need to read a bit faster, bro. Was an alien and deadly place. Okay. The planet was ravaged by intense volcanism and asteroid storm that lasted 100 million years. Just want to turn it down a slight bit. Yet even in these extreme conditions, life quickly found a foothold.
Very, very quickly, as soon as the Earth cooled off after its formation, we know that life began here.
Because it happened quickly here on Earth, we think it's going to happen quickly on other planets as well.
The story of Earth gives us hope that life could be universally common. It teaches us that life is fast-acting, tenacious, and made of basic common ingredients. After 4 billion years of isolation, the search for our cosmic kin has finally begun. Where there is water, there is life, and so our best chance is to look for ocean worlds like Earth. Our search for life, Earth-like planets, has only just begun, and the findings are tantalizing. Kepler 62f, distance from Earth 1,200 light years, size 1.4 times of Earth, temperature above or equal to 85 degrees Fahrenheit, age 7 billion years, possible water world. Now, obviously, for complex life like humans, right, you need water. I mean, they said energy, water, and whatever. And obviously, the right temperature, right? Temperature is very important. I mean, obviously, for certain organisms, they can live in extremes, but they're not exactly very complex life, right? TRAPPIST 1D, 41 light years away, 0.77 times Earth, 7.5 billion years old, equal, small or equal to what? 20 Fahrenheit, possible water world. I don't know what the equivalent of Fahrenheit is in Celsius, but 20 Fahrenheit is pretty fucking cold, right? T-Garden B, 12 light years away, 1.07 times size of Earth, 8 billion light years old, and the same temp, possible water world. K218b, 111 light years away, 2 times the size of Earth, minus 100 to 116 Fahrenheit. Confirmed atmospheric water vapor. I'm not gonna lie, maybe this isn't the best 100% best candidate, although the temperature varies. 116 Fahrenheit is pretty hot, and minus 100, it's gotta be fucking cold. We have barely scratched the surface. Nature's trove of secrets is bottomless.
We know that the galaxy is awash in water. It's awash in organic molecules and complex chemistry. All of the things that we know were necessary for life to begin on this planet exist in abundance throughout the galaxy. something similar to what happened on our own planet happen on those other planets?
Jellyfish flying through the air, that's a interesting concept, you know? That would be terrifying though. Looking at the raw numbers, the existence of alien life seems almost inevitable. Sure. The largest data suggests that up to a quarter of stars have rocky planets orbiting in their habitable zone, the right distance for liquid water. In our Milky Way galaxy alone, that's almost equal to 50 billion worlds like Earth, or approximate to 50 billion, right? In the entire universe, the possible number of habitable planets is staggering. That's a lot of numbers, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of numbers that I'm not even going to try and say. Imagine each flash of light represents an Earth-like planet. Lord have mercy. You would have to watch this animation for over 1 billion years to view them all. Imagine watching that for 1 billion years. I mean, we've talked about the unimaginable numbers, and if you watch the time lapse to the future, man, whenever you watch anything astrophysics based, it's always the numbers are just unimaginable. Like the time frame, like the human mind just doesn't grasp the full size of that, right? Which is insane. Each one with a history as rich and unique as Earth. Trillions and trillions of chemical soups stewing for eons.
There are more habitable Earth-mass planets in the observable volume of the universe than there are grains of sand on all the beaches on Earth.
Jesus Christ. Among this abundance of worlds, many will be deadly to life as we know it. There will be planets in the habitable zone that are scorched, frozen, and suffocated by poison gases. Many will lack an atmosphere critical for temperature regulation, or have one that is deadly. That's got to rule out quite a few planets then, surely. I mean, those are very important things, right? So, I mean, we touched on them before. I mean, you can't have a poisonous atmosphere. Although, maybe certain life that's based off some different element could thrive in that, you know what I mean? Maybe be toxic to us, but not toxic to this other life form. Venus, once thought to potentially support life, is now sterilized by a crushing toxic atmosphere. But life may not be confined to the habitable zone. I'm just going to say a fun thing I heard about Venus. I don't remember if it was in one of these videos we reacted to, or I read it online or something, but I heard that we could potentially build something on Venus to live. You could potentially live on Venus, right? If it was similar to the planet in Star Wars, the Coruscant, I think it's called, like the Jedi thing that's built up in the sky. I was told the temperature is right and the atmosphere isn't that toxic. If you build it a certain level in the sky, it would be fine, but I don't know how true that is. Far from the warmth of their star, the moons of giant gas planets may be hidden oases for life. Their energy comes not from starlight, but from gravity, the lurching push and pull of the host planet. Which is why people think you could potentially live on, is it Europa or Io or one of the planets, the moons of Jupiter? Icy Enceladus has it all, a huge subsurface ocean with hydrothermal vents spewing the chemistry of life. Titan is especially alluring, larger than Mercury and speckled with methane and organic compounds. In 2026, NASA plans to send a drone to Titan, seeking out signs of life in its valleys and craters. There may be up to 100 trillion exomoons in our galaxy alone, 100 times the number of planets. Some may even be Earth-sized with atmospheres and surface water. With so many places to find life, it seems only a matter of time before we make a discovery. Some think we already have. That's true, that's true. On June 30th, 1976, the Viking lander on Mars found something that still remains unexplained. After being injected with nutrients, Martian soil samples expelled signature radioactive gas, just like the soils on Earth. Was this signal a natural phenomenon or our first encounter with alien biology?
The discovery of just one bacteria on Mars, or any other body of the solar system, would indicate that the whole chain of evolutions, cosmic, chemical, and biological, is at work everywhere. In that case, the creation of life anywhere in the universe would be more the rule than the exception.
If we haven't found life already, it may not be long until we do. NASA scientists now think we are on the verge of a discovery, or verge of discovery.
Within all of our lifetime, we're going to understand that there is life on other bodies in the solar system. We're going to understand the implications of that for evolution of life here on Earth. We're going to find planets around other stars that we can say we see potential signs of habitability in their atmospheres. That's all going to happen in the next 10 to 20 years. How exciting is that? We're on the verge of things that people have wondered about for millennia. Are we alone? And here we are on the verge of finding that out.
If we do find life out there, what will we discover about ourselves? I'm sorry if I keep changing the volume, ladies and gentlemen. It's just that the music volume keeps changing and I don't want my voice to be drowned out, you know? What chapter is Earth in the story of life?
The universe is nearly 14 billion years old, and our galaxy is something like 12 billion years old. So there could be life out there that could be dramatically more advanced than the life that we have here on this planet.
Is Earth a latecomer on the cosmic stage? Just how ancient could life be? first few million years, the cosmos was too hot for life as we know it. The ambient temperature would have boiled you alive. When it was finally cool enough for life, there were no stars and planets, only huge lumbering clouds of hydrogen. After 70 million years, the gravity took hold of these clouds and spun them into the first generation of stars. The first stars were massive and bright, but there was no life to watch them rise. Vital heavy elements were still being forged in their hot stellar cores. Not even the Big Bang was hot enough to create them. The
Big Bang were hydrogen, helium, and a little bit of lithium. All the stuff that makes your life livable, those elements weren't created in the Big Bang. The only place they were created is in the fiery core of the stars. And the only way they could get into your body is if the stars were kind enough to explode.
The explosive death of the first mid-sized stars seeded the cosmos with the ingredients for life. We gotta give a big shout out to those stars, bro, because without them, none of us would be here today. From their ashes rose a second generation of suns, this time with rocky planets dancing around them. This is the moment the raw ingredients for life together for the first time. I just butchered that. Hold on, ladies and gents, we're gonna go back. This is the moment the raw ingredients for life together for the first time, approximately 13.7 billion years ago. Life became possible over here. Some believe the conditions for life existed even earlier in the warm afterglow of creation. As the heat from the Big Bang faded, the universe passed through a Goldilocks era. Some 50 million years after time began, the ambient temperature reached a balmy 75 degrees Fahrenheit. What's a balmy? A balmy. I just don't know what that means. A balmy. Pronounce it either, apparently. For millions of years it was warm in all directions like an endless summer day on Earth. Sounds nice. In theory, stars and planets could have formed this early on in hypothesized ultra-dense regions of space. If such regions existed, liquid water could have flowed abundantly, even on rogue planets far from any star. Could this have been the dawn of life? Alien beings feeding off heat of the Big Bang. Feeding off the heat of the Big Bang. Somewhere out there may be a planet with life nearly as old as the universe itself. With a 10 billion year head start, the universe could be teeming with life far more advanced than our own. Now that would be scary, I agree. Despite decades of searching, no sign of alien life has ever been confirmed, intelligent or otherwise. So where is everybody? Well, I'm right here. I don't know where everyone else is, to be honest. Could we really be alone? Well, maybe primitive life is common, but intelligence is exceedingly rare. I mean, of course, that would explain how we haven't found somebody or we haven't detected anything, because obviously only intelligent life would really give off detectable signs, right? But on that note, if they're not close enough, I mean, if somebody is 65 million light years away and they're viewing us, they're going to see dinosaurs, right? So you never know. Maybe space is just too vast for feasible communication. Maybe it is. Or maybe we are the first. Could we be the opening chapter in a sprawling history of life? Well, I mean, you have this whole big gap here, so I mean, I'm not too convinced. The universe is young and the vast majority of planets have yet to be born. The ingredients for life will be stewing for another whole lot of numbers, years. From this perspective, we are the dawn, the opening melody in a symphony of life. Our star dies 100 trillion years. What might come long after us? Not sure, brother. Red dwarf stars can live up to 10 trillion years, bathing their planets in starlight for eons. Life is much more probable on these timescales where conditions are stable, and Tony still can't read, are stable for vast periods. Any beings living close to these stars would have to contend with violent solar flares that continually threaten extinction. Many of these planets would be tidally locked, one side permanently exposed to the sun and the other frozen in darkness. But as Earth has taught us, life is remarkably adaptable. What forms might life take when it has trillions of years to evolve? One day, somehow, the story of life will come to an end. Hope not. If we are the first chapter of that story, we have the chance to carry the torch of life far into the future. It's cool, like there's a DNA molecule in the stars. That's pretty cool. And if biology does persist far into the future, then we live in a privileged moment. In later chapters, the universe will seem far different. The expansion of space-time will make distant stars invisible, and night skies will go dark. Perhaps life in the far future will wonder what it was like to live in the universe's brilliant early days. We are lucky enough to know the answer. All we have to do is look up. Well, I mean, if you're in the right area to look up. If you're in a city, good luck with that. Good luck with that. Handcrafted by melodysheep. Shout out to you, man. Next on Life Beyond, making contact with intelligent life, surviving the end of the universe, the physics of alien life, and more. Well, that will be very, very interesting when he uploads that, or maybe he has already. I don't think he has. I would have been suggested it, surely. Yeah, okay, so he hasn't done it yet, man. Shout out to melodysheep, bro. This was a very, very, very good video. In terms of next up, making contact with intelligent life, I've discussed it before, and actually I done a podcast with my friend and we talked about this. Surviving the end of the universe. We've also talked about theories about that in the past, like maybe we could create another universe, you know what I mean? And the physics of alien life and more. That will be very, very interesting, and I'm excited to watch that. But yeah, this was a great video, man. I could definitely see like this being on Discovery Channel or whatever, you know, like sort of channel would display this content, because this was very well made. He definitely put a lot of effort into it, and you know, shout out to him. It was a very, very, very good video. Like, excellent stuff. Yeah, very, very interesting, bro. I'm excited, like I said, excited to see chapter 2, 3, and watch this series as it comes out. Obviously, it probably won't come out as fast as a TV series because he is a very small team working on it, or maybe he's just working on it by himself. So, you know, he has to take his time, and I expect that, man. The YouTube grind is very difficult. And you know, he's got very deserved almost 1 million views on this, and he's getting close to 1 million subs too. So shout out to him, man. Let me know what you thought of this video, ladies and gentlemen. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you are new, especially if you enjoyed it, man. It will really help me out. Also, be sure to suggest me any videos you'd like me to watch. But thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you all next time.